So this is our problem 1. Okay? So ang problem 1 natin, ang requirements dyan class, 4. The carrying value of the lease liability, January 1. The carrying value of the lease liability, December 31. The carrying value of the right of use asset, January 1. And the carrying value of the right of use asset, December 31. Okay? So let's read the problem. So the problem says, Austin Company, the lessee, entered into a contract with Kirsten, the lessor, with the following details. Letter A, on January 1, 20X1, the contract of lease conveyed the right to use the asset, which is a building, for 5 years in exchange for annual lease payments of 1 million payable every January 1 of each year beginning 20X1. So letter A is just an information that talks about that the lessee and the lessor entered into a contract of lease wherein the right of use asset is granted to the lessee for a period of 5 years in exchange for an annual lease payments amounting to 1 million pesos that is to be paid, no? Also at the date of transaction. Start with the date of transaction. That is your letter A. So letter B, Austin Company paid the first lease payments due on January 1, 20X1. Okay, so the information for letter B, that the first payment was made January 1, 20X1, which is exactly the date of transaction. So if you will be computing for the present value of a certain fixed rental payments, you will use the present value of an annuity due because the date of transaction coincides with the date of first lease payments. Then we have the annual executory cost. The annual executory cost is treated as an expense. Then the initial direct cost. Initial direct cost is a capitalizable cost that is included as part of your right of use asset. Ito yun, initial direct cost, that is a capitalizable cost in getting the right of use asset. Then you have the executory cost, which is treated as an expense. At yung sinasabi ko kanina, if the date of transaction coincide with the date of first lease payments, you will use the present value of an annuity due. Okay, let's now move to letter C. On the same date, Kirsten Company makes the underlying asset available for use. Moreover, Austin Company received 350,000 worth of lease incentive from Kirsten Company. Paano ito nangyayari? Yung binayad mo na 1 million pesos, sinoli niya yung 350,000. That is a lease incentive. And a lease incentive is a reduction in computing for the right of use asset. Nasaan yun? Ito yun. The lease incentive. Advance payments minus the lease incentive. That would be the accounting treatment for that. Eh sir, paano kapag walang advance payments tapos may incentive? Actually class, yung incentive na yan, ibinabalik yan. That is reimbursed. Okay? Paano sir kapag nakita kasi ako ng problem na yan walang advance payments pero may lease incentive. Sundan mo yung problem. Okay? Despite that there is no advance payment, but there is a lease incentive coming from the pocket of the lessor. Okay? Ang gagawin mo doon, ibawas mo din. Okay? So, ibawas mo rin dito in the absence of advance payments. But the problem provides that there is a lease incentive. Okay? But the true nature of lease incentive, that there is an advance payment and the part of the advance payment is returned to you by the lessor. Let's say you made an advance of 1 million pesos. Then upon receipt of the 1 million pesos, the lessor returned the 350,000 as a form of reimbursement. Okay? So yun ang lease incentive. Okay? So that is a reduction to your right of use asset. Then we have letter D. The building is expected to be economically useful for a period of 8 years. So, meaning this is just the remaining useful life of the building. And letter E, they agreed that by the end of the lease term, the ownership of the underlying asset will be transferred to Austin Company. So, embodied in the contract that there will be a transfer of ownership. Then letter F, the contract of lease provides that Austin Company will have to restore the underlying asset to a condition required by the terms and conditions of the lease. This is now your decommissioning and restoration cost. And this cost is estimated to be at 200,000. So this is the amount that the lessee would incur at the end of the lease term in restoring the underlying asset. Okay? So meaning, this 200,000 ay magagastos lang pagkatapos ng 5 taon lease contract. Okay? That is to be used in restoring the property to a condition that is required by the terms and conditions of the lease. And the implicit rate here is 10%. Okay? Huwag kang ma-overwhelm sa lease. Okay? Kasi naka-dissect ito sa step-by-step procedure. Okay? So, ang unang-unang gagawin mo dito is to identify the lease payments. And there are 5 lease payments. We have the fixed rental payments. Diba? Fixed rental payments. We have the variable rental payments. We have the purchase option that is exercisable. We have the guaranteed residual value, and we have the termination penalty. Yan lang naman. Ito lang, 5 lang yan. Okay? That is fixed rental payments, variable rental payments, purchase option that is exercisable. You have the guaranteed residual value and the termination penalty. Yan ang step 1 mo. Because nakalink yan dito sa lease liability mo. Remember that the lease liability, the initial measurement is the present value of the lease payments. Okay? But ingat ka, because the question here is the carrying value of the lease liability. When we say carrying value of the lease liability, any advance payment should be considered. And the outstanding balance is what you call the carrying value of the lease liability on the date of transaction. Okay? So with this class, with this A to G na to, isa lang ang lease payments. Kasi wala namang variable, wala namang residual value, walang purchase option, at walang termination penalty. Ano lang, that is the fixed rental payments. Amounting to how much? 1 million, and that is payable in advance. Bakit payable in advance? Because the date of transaction coincide with the date of first lease payments. Okay, first question for the day. So what is the present value factor to be used here? Will we use the ordinary annuity or the annuity due? Chat box, please. OE or AD lang. So we will use the annuity due. Can you please compute now? What is the present value factor of an annuity due? At what rate? At 10%. What is N? The lease term of 5 years. What is the present value factor of an annuity due at 10%? N is equal to 5. Okay? So that should be 1.10 dalawang divide. Ito yun. 1.10 dalawang divide. 4 na equals minus 1 divided by 0.10 minus 1. And the factor is 4.16. So this is 4.16. Yan yun. 1 million times 4.16. Okay, that is 1.10 dalawang divide, 4 na equals minus 1 divided by 0.10 minus 1. Okay? Listen. So, kung gagawa ka ng effective interest method of amortization mo, ganito ang itsura niya. The present value here is 4,169,865. That is 1 million times 4.16. However, class, may advance payments yan na 1 million. Ito yon. Walang interest kasi hindi naman tumakbo yung panahon eh. Interest is to be paid due to passage of time. So the amortization here is 1 million. So the carrying value or the outstanding balance of the liability is 3.17 million pesos. Yan yung sagot natin dito. Sa unang tanong, what is the carrying value of the lease liability? The carrying value of the lease liability is the carrying value means this is an amount that already considers any subsequent payments. Kailan mo isasagot yung 4.16? 4.17 million. Sasagot mo yan if the question is this. Compute for the present value of the lease payments at the date of the lease, no? Yun. So you will use the 4.17 as the answer. Kailan pa? If you're asked to compute for the initial measurement of the lease liability. Ito yun. Again, kailan to isasagot? Pag tinanong what is the present value of the lease liability January 1? What is the initial measurement of the lease liability January 1? Okay? Kailan mo isasagot ang 3.17? If the question is, compute for the carrying value of the lease liability January 1, compute for the outstanding balance of the liability January 1. Okay? So here, sa table natin, sa template, 1 million times 4.16, magbawas ka ng 1 million. 1 million times 4.16 minus the advance payment of 1 million. Kaya yan nagiging 3.17. 1 million times 4.17 minus the advance payment of 1 million to get this 3.17. This is the carrying value of the liability. Okay, so the answer in item 1, what is the carrying value of the lease liability January 1? That is 3,169,865 using the 6 decimal places present value factor. Okay? Then the next one, what is the carrying value of the liability December 31? Alam mo that the next payment of lease would be the next January 1. Okay, January 1, 20. This is 20x1. January 1, 20x2 would be the next payment of lease. So, ibig sabihin, come December 31, ang tatakbo lang interest. Diba? So, this is the interest. So, that is 3.17 million times the interest, which is the implicit rate of 10%. So, this is now the interest expense. Yan yun. Na madadagdag sa value ng liability mo. So that is 3.17 plus 316,987. So this is now the outstanding obligation December 31, 20x1. Or simply, kasi interest lang naman ang kakarga eh. Or simply multiply this by 1.1. So 3.17 million times 1.1, that is also 3,486,851.50. And this is the answer in number 2. That is what? The carrying value of the lease liability December 31, 20x1. Okay. The third requirement is to compute for the carrying value of the right of use asset. Carrying value of the right of use asset, sabi natin, there are 4 items to be considered in getting the right of use asset. One is this, the lease liability. But the lease liability here, I emphasized earlier that this should be the liability to be paid in the future. Meaning this is what the outstanding liability as of the date of transaction. Meaning that is what? The carrying value of the liability at the date of transaction. Ito yun. And what is the carrying value of the liability at the date of the inception of the lease? And that is your 3.16 million. Do not use the 4.16 or the 4.17 million. Because what we are dealing with here is the liability that is to be paid in the future as of a certain date. And we are talking about January 1. What is the outstanding liability to be paid in the future? That is 3.17. Ingat ka doon. Okay? Malinaw yan sa standards. Ano pa yung mga items? Items under right of use asset. We have the advance payments minus the incentives. We have the initial direct cost. And we have the present value of the decommissioning and restoration cost. Okay, the advance payments is 1 million. We have here advance payments. The first lease payments was due January 1, and that is equivalent to 1 million pesos. And the lease incentive was provided in letter C. There is a 350,000 worth of lease incentives provided by the lessor to the lessee. So that would be 1 million pesos minus 350, and this is now 650,000. The initial direct cost is a capitalizable cost that is included as part of your item B. We have the initial direct cost here amounting to 100,000 pesos. Okay? Then we have the present value of the decommissioning and restoration cost. And what is this? That is your 200,000. This 200,000 is the amount to be incurred by the lessee at the end of the lease term in returning the underlying asset to the condition that is required by the terms and condition. And this amount, as we all know, this is a future amount, a future value that is to be incurred by the lessee at the end of the 5th year. Ang tinatanong lang dito, 20x1. So we will get the value of 200,000 today. What is the value of 200,000 today? And that is the present value of this 200,000. That is why this is at present value. Since this is an amount that is to be incurred at the end of the 5th year, Okay, and we're talking about a single specific date. To get the present value, we will just use the present value factor of 1. Okay, so that is 1.10, dalawang divide, 5 equals. And the factor is 0.620921. Okay, so times 200,000, that is the amount of the restoration cost. The present value here is 124,184.20. And this will now be the ARWA, or the right of use asset, January 1, amounting to 4,044,049.20. Okay? So that is your item 3. Your item 4 class is the carrying value of the right of use asset, December 31. So carrying value, you have your cost. And your cost is 4,044,049.20. You must have the accumulated depreciation to get the answer. That is ARWA, December 31, 20, X1. Remember that we are just only in the first year. So whatever be the depreciation expense to be computed, that would also be your accumulated depreciation kasi isang taon pa lang naman. So the main challenge here na nakakalito, sabi nila, is what is the value, what is the number of years to be used in depreciating the right of use asset of the ARWA. Remember, dalawa lang ang tinuro ko sa iyo. Isa-summarize ko dito. Kasi dito baka ma-overwhelm ka sa ganyan. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is just this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dito natin gawin. If there would be a transfer of ownership, okay? Gawin ko dito. Mabilis lang naman to. If there will be a transfer of ownership or potential transfer of ownership, potential transfer of ownership relates to purchase option. Kasi wala pa eh. Magkakaroon lang ng transfer of ownership once the lessee exercise the option to purchase. What is the transfer of ownership then? If that is included in the contract, that there would be indeed a transfer of ownership at the end of the lease term. If that is the case, what is the life to be used or the number of years to be used in depreciating the asset? The number of years to be used in depreciating the asset would be the useful life of the underlying asset, the remaining useful life of the underlying asset. Okay? If there is no, okay, transfer of ownership or potential transfer of ownership, ganyan lang yung kasimple. Okay? You will use what? The shorter between the useful life and the lease term. So this would be the lease term versus the useful life and the shorter between the two. Okay? Yan yun. Okay, meron pang isa, di ba? We have, the formula is cost minus residual value. Residual value may be guaranteed or unguaranteed. If there would be a transfer of ownership or potential transfer of ownership, you should always deduct the residual value, whether guaranteed or unguaranteed, regardless. No? If that is guaranteed or unguaranteed, deduct the residual value. If there is no transfer of ownership or potential transfer of ownership, you will only deduct the residual value if the residual value is a guaranteed residual value. Okay? Ganyan lang yun. Okay? So let's have this item 1. There is no residual value. Okay? But my first question now, would there be a transfer of ownership or potential transfer of ownership at the end of the lease term? Yes or no? Yes. Nakalagay dito. Ang sabi niya, they agreed that by the end of the lease term, okay, the ownership of the underlying asset will be transferred to Austin Company. If that is not the case, what number of years will be used to depreciate the asset? Is that a lease term of 5 years or is that the 8-year remaining useful life of the asset? So we will depreciate the asset using useful life. So this is now divided by 8. So 4,044,000 divided by 8 years. This is your depreciation expense and accumulated depreciation for the first year. And this is now the answer in the number 4 question. So 4,044,000 minus this, and this is now 3.54 million pesos. Let's move to problem 2. Okay? In problem 2 class, ganun din siya. However, merong mga ginamit dito. May bago na. Okay. So, letter A is just the same as the previous problem. wherein there is a contract of lease entered into by the lessor and the lessee for a 5-year lease to use the underlying asset, which is a building, and the annual payments is 1 million and payable every January 1. In letter B, that is also like the first problem, and the first lease payments was made on January 1, 20X1, and the annual executory cost, which is treated to be as an outright expense, is 35,000, and initial direct cost, which is a capitalizable cost in the right of use, in computing for the right of use asset, 100,000. On the same date, Kirsten Company makes the underlying asset available for use, and item C is also the same as the previous one, wherein it just emphasized that there is a lease incentive of 350,000. Letter D is just an indicator that the remaining useful life of the asset is 8 years. And we have letter E. This is new. No? Kirsten Company agreed to a purchase option with the exercise price of 500,000. That is reasonably certain to be exercised by Austin at the end of the lease term. Reasonably certain in the sense that this 500,000 is an amount substantially lower than the fair value of the asset at the end of the lease term. Then we have letter F, just the same as the previous one. This talks about the restoration cost of 200,000 that is to be incurred by the lessee at the end of the lease term. And the implicit rate here is 10%. Okay? So, question, what are the lease payments involved? The lease payments involved, we have the fixed rental payments. But before that, let's identify again what are the lease payments. We have the fixed rental payments. We have the variable rental payments. We have the purchase option that is exercisable. We have the guaranteed residual value and the termination penalty. Yun yung 5. Okay? Then, what are the lease payments included in this problem? We have the fixed rental payments amounting to 1 million pesos. And there is also what? A purchase option included in item E. That is what? 500,000 pesos. Okay? Yan yun. So, let's now compute for the present value of the lease payments. The present value of the lease payments, again, these are the initial measurement of your lease payments. But the requirement here in our problem is the carrying value of the lease liability. Meaning, if there would be an advance payment that should be considered. Because the requirement is to compute for the outstanding obligation as of January 1, 20X1. Okay, so this is your effective interest method of amortization. This is your January 1, 20X1. And what is the present value of the lease payments? Ito yon. We have here the fixed rental payments multiplied by the 4.16. Kinompute na natin yan. The present value of an annuity due at 10% and is equal to 5 is 4.16. And we also have the purchase option. Purchase option that is exercisable. Okay, amounting to 500,000 pesos. Okay, however, that 500,000 pesos is an option that is to be exercised at the end of the lease term. Okay, therefore, that should be multiplied only with the present value factor of 1. Going back to the concept map, purchase option exercisable, that is to be, multiplied with the present value factor of 1. Okay, so what is the present value factor of 1 at 10% and is equal to 5? Kinumpute na natin kanina. That is 0.62. Present value of an annuity due, 4.16. Okay, I would like to emphasize here that the present value of your obligation is 500,000 times 0.62. Ito yun, 310. Dagdag mo yan eh. 4.69 plus 310, ito yun. That is 4,488,250. Which is your January 1. Ito yon. Pero meron kasing subsequent payment eh. Also made in advance January 1. Kaya may 1 million ka dito. May 1 million ka dito. So here, this is what? This is 3,480,825, 325.50. That is the answer. Gusto kong ipakita to kasi dito shortcut na natin eh. Ano yun? 1 million times 4.16 minus 1 million again because we all know that there is an advance payment. So kaya lumalabas dito 3.17 na. 1 million times 4.16 minus the advance payment of 1 million. Kaya 3.17 million na lang ito. Okay? 3.17 plus 310. So that is the value of your obligation January 1. That is 3.48 million. And again, we all know that in requirement 2, in getting the carrying value of the liability December 31, ang next payment kasi niya is January 1, 20X2 na. Okay? So here, ang madadagdag lang sa'yo ay interest. Okay? Equivalent to the 10% or the implicit rate of the outstanding balance of the obligation. Therefore, madadagdag yan sa obligation mo. Dahil yan ay interest. Answer is 3.83 million for requirement 2. Again, hindi mo na kailangan to. Pinapakita ko lang ito for illustration purposes or the detailed explanation of this, why this come up to 3.48. The next procedure na gagawin natin, hindi na natin to gagawin. Alam naman natin ang kumakarga lang naman ay interest. So meaning coming from this 3.48, i-multiply na lang natin ng 1.10. Ito na yon. Kasi kumarga na yung interest mo na 10%. So again, the answers are for number 1, that is 3.49 million. Answer in number 2, that is 3.83 million. Let's now go to item 3. The right of use asset and the carrying value of the right of use asset. The carrying value of the right of use asset January 1 and December 31 respectively. Okay? So we have here the carrying value of the liability, and that is 3.48 million. Let's run down first the items that constitutes the right of use asset. The carrying value of the liability, the advance payment minus the incentive, the initial direct cost, and we have the present value of the decommissioning and restoration cost. The carrying value of the obligation is 3.48 million. Advance payment is 1 million minus the incentive of 350,000 given in the problem. So this is 650,000. Initial direct cost given also in the problem. This is 100,000. And the present value of the decommissioning and restoration cost that we made earlier, that is 200,000 times 0.62. This is 124,184.20. So this is your January 1 right of use asset, which is how much? This is now 4,354,509.70. The requirement for ARWA, December 31. So we have a cost here, January 1 of 4.35 million. And the deal here is again the depreciation. Okay? So wala tayong residual value. The formula is cost minus residual value. Wala tayong residual value. But what number of years ang gagamitin natin dito? Okay? The first question would be, would there be a transfer of ownership or a potential transfer of ownership? Chat box please, yes or no. Would there be a potential transfer of ownership or transfer of ownership? The answer is yes, because there is a purchase option. The possibility that there would be a transfer of ownership from the lessor to the lessee ay mayroon when the lessee exercised the option to purchase. Therefore, you will depreciate the asset using the useful life again of 8 years. And this is now the answer for December 31. Okay? 3.81 million pesos. Okay? Let's now move to problem 3. In problem 3, medyo mabilis lang yung discussion class pero kumapit ka. Okay? Kapit. Okay? Kasi pag nawala ka dito, wala ka na rin dun pagdating sa lessor. Okay? Kaya kailangan captured natin lahat yung one-pager na concept map para hindi tayo naliligaw. Okay? So let's go to problem 3. So January 1 is just the same as the previous one, that the contract of this is 5 years entered into by the lessor and the lessee, and the annual lease payments is 1 million payable every January 1 starting January 1, 20X1. Letter B, the same as the previous two problems. The first payment was made January 1, 20X1, and there is an annual executory cost of 35,000 which is treated to be as an outright expense, and the initial direct cost of 100,000 that is to be capitalized in computing for the right of use asset. We have letter C here. This is what? This is the lease incentive, just like the previous two problems, amounting to 350,000. And the lease incentive is a reduction in computing for the right of use asset. Then we have letter D na bago. Okay? The life of the building now is not anymore 8 years but 6 years na. Okay? Letter E, bago din. The asset will revert to the lessor and an amount of 500,000 is expected to be payable by Austin under a residual value guaranteed. Okay? Bago yan. So this is 500,000. And this is an amount that is guaranteed by Austin Company. Okay? So this is residual value guaranteed. Okay? Guaranteed residual value amounting to 500,000, and listen, the asset revert to the lessor at the end of the lease term. Then we have letter F here. This is 200,000, the restoration cost. And the implicit rate is 10%. Okay? So my question now here is, aside from the fixed rental payments, are there any lease payments included in problem 3? So you have the guaranteed residual value. Remember, to be included as part of the lease payments, it must satisfy the two requirements that should be guaranteed and the asset revert to the lessor at the end of the lease term, which is technically the concept mo reveals. Ito yun. Okay? So let's go to problem 3 here. So you've mentioned that the fixed rental payments and the residual value are the lease payments included here. So again, this is 1 million and the residual value here is 500,000. This residual value is the guaranteed amount at the end of the lease term. So this should be multiplied with the present value factor of 1. Well, this is again, that is your 4.16. Present value of an annuity due. And again, alam na natin yan. Why is this 3.17? Because that is 1 million times 4.16 minus the advance payment of 1 million. And this is 500,000 times 0.62. This is 310. And the total of this is the answer in number 1, carrying value of the lease liability, 3.49. Okay? So, to answer number 2, what we need is dadagdagan lang natin ng interest ng 10%. So, that is 3.48 times 1.10. So, that is now 3.83 million pesos. That is for item 2. Then, item 3, carrying value of the right of use asset. We have the carrying value of the liability. We have the advance payments minus the incentives. We have the initial direct cost and the present value of the decommissioning and restoration cost. The carrying value of the liability is 3.48. Advance payments is 1 million minus the incentive of 350. So that is 650. Initial direct cost is 100. And again, this is the present value of the decommissioning and restoration cost of 124,184.20. So the answer for number 3, January 1. So this is how much? This is now 4.35 million pesos. Next. So what is now the carrying value of the obligation of the right of use asset December 31? That would be your cost of 4.35 million and the accumulated depreciation of 1 year. No? So this is your cost, 4.35, and let's deal with the depreciation expense. Okay. The first question would be this. Would there be a transfer of ownership or potential transfer of ownership? Wala. Wala naman transfer of ownership dito. Wala naman purchase option. So wala. So what should be the denominator to be used? Would that be 5 years or would that be 6 years? The denominator is the shorter between the lease term and the useful life, and that is 5. Okay. Now, we have a residual value. Diba the formula is cost minus residual value divided by 5. So, na-establish na natin yung 5 years. Okay. Will we deduct the residual value? 500,000. The answer is yes. What if the residual value is unguaranteed residual value? Will we deduct the residual value? Yes or no? The answer is no. What if there would be a transfer of ownership? What if there would be a transfer of ownership and the residual value is unguaranteed? Will we deduct the residual value? Yes or no? The answer is yes. Okay? So, going back to the default problem, there is no transfer of ownership or potential transfer of ownership. Therefore, we will only deduct the residual value if the residual value is guaranteed. Going back to this illustration, no potential transfer of ownership. You will only deduct the residual value if the residual value is guaranteed. Under problem 3, is the residual value guaranteed? The answer is yes. So to compute now for the depreciation expense, that would be 4.35 million minus 500,000 divided by 5 years. And this is now your depreciation expense amounting to 770,000. And this is now the answer, December 31. That is 3.58 million pesos. Okay, let's now move to the next one. Okay, let's now move here. Problem 4. Okay, so problem 4, let's dissect. January 1 is the same as the previous 3 problems. Okay, letter B is just the same as the previous 3 problems. Annual executory cost, expense, initial direct cost, capitalized. Problem C or item C is just the same as the previous 3 problems. Lease incentive of 350. Letter D, the useful life is 6 years for the building. Letter E, the asset will revert to the lessor and an amount of 500,000 is the estimated unguaranteed residual value. Then the contract of lease in item F, this is 200,000, the restoration cost, and the implicit rate is 10%. Okay? So under this problem, will we include the residual value as part of our lease payments? Yes or no? Would we include the residual value cited in letter E as part of our lease payments? Yes or no? The answer is no, because that is unguaranteed residual value. Okay? So what is included here is only this amount, 1 million, no variable, no residual, no purchase, no termination penalty. This is 4.16. 1 million times 4.16 minus 1 million because of the advance payment. This is now the answer in number 1, the carrying value of the liability January 1. Times 1.10 to get the answer in number 2. So that is 3.49 million. That is number 2. With interest of 1 year using the implicit rate of 10%. The carrying value of the liability here is 3.17. The advance payment minus incentive is 650. The initial direct cost here is 100,000. And again, the present value of the restoration and the decommissioning and restoration cost of 124,184.20. And this is now the cost of the asset January 1. Answer in number 3. So let's now have this kasi ito yung crucial eh. This is our cost. Accumulated depreciation. Question. Would there be a potential transfer of ownership or a transfer of ownership? Yes or no? The answer is no. If that is the case, what should be the denominator to be used in depreciating the asset? 5 or 6? 5 years, the shorter between the two. Will we deduct the residual value in getting the depreciation expense? Yes or no? The answer is no, because there is no transfer of ownership or a potential transfer of ownership. What if there is a bargain? What if there is a purchase option and the residual value is unguaranteed? Will we deduct the residual value? Yes or no? The answer is yes. Okay? If there is a potential transfer of ownership given as a purchase option, going back to this matrix, you will deduct the residual value whether guaranteed or unguaranteed. But using the default problem here, there is no potential transfer of ownership or even a transfer of ownership. So you will not deduct the residual value since the residual value provided is an unguaranteed residual value. So this is just divided by 5 and this is now the answer. Going back to problem 4. Wala kasing problem na nagsasabi sa handout natin na ganito. If there is an implicit rate of 10%, okay, and there is another one given, which is the incremental borrowing percentage. Let's say the incremental borrowing percentage is 8%. Let's say this is item EFGH. The incremental borrowing rate is 8%. What is the rate to be used in getting the present value factor? 10 or 8? Okay, 10. What if there is no letter G? So, will we use the incremental borrowing rate of 8%? Yes or no? The answer is yes. Okay. What if the implicit rate here given in item G is not known to the lessee? 10% implicit rate not known to the lessee. And letter H is the incremental borrowing rate. What should be the rate to be used in getting the present value factor? 10 or 8? 8%. Okay? Ganun lang yun. Let's now go to problem 5. So, letter A, pareho lang yan ng previous 4. Letter B, pareho lang yan ng previous 4. I would like to emphasize again that the executory cost is treated as outright expense. Letter C. Letter C. Nasaan si letter C? Ito. Lease incentive of 350. Letter D, the life is 8 years ng building. Letter E, teka, dahan-dahanin natin. Parang may mga bago na. They also agreed that by the end of the lease term, the ownership of the underlying asset will be transferred to Austin Company. Okay. Linis. F, restoration cost of 200,000. Letter G, implicit rate of 10%. But there is now an item H. What is that? An amount of 500,000 represent payment of the penalties for terminating the lease, and the lease reflects that the lessee exercising an option to terminate the lease at the end of the 4th year. Linis. The lease term reflects that the lessee exercising an option to terminate the lease at the end of the 4th year, and the dismantling cost at the end of the 4th year is 150,000. There is now a termination penalty here in the problem, and it says that the lease term reflects that the lessee exercising an option to terminate the lease at the end of the 4th year. So what are the lease payments to be included here? Aside from the fixed rental payments, there is now what you call termination penalty. Okay? So what is the catch here? The catch here is this. One, if you want to know what is the carrying value of the obligation, you will not take into consideration the 5-year lease term. Why? Because the lease term reflects that the lessee exercising an option to terminate the lease at the end of the 4th year. So meaning you will get the present value of an annuity due at 10%, not on the 5th year, but on the 4th year. Okay? 1.1, dalawang divide. Okay? Tatlong equals minus 1 divided by 0.10 minus 1. That is the present value of an annuity due at 10% and is equal to 4. Why 4? Because the lease term reflects that the lessee exercising an option to terminate the lease at the end of the 4th year. What is the present value factor of an annuity due at 10% and is equal to 4? That should be 3.48. Okay? So this is now the termination penalty equivalent to 500,000, and this amount is an amount subsequent to the termination of the lease, and this penalty now should be multiplied with the present value factor, and that should be the present value factor of 1 because this relates to a specific date, and that specific date is the 4th year. So what is the BB factor of 1? At 10% n is equal to 4. So that should be 0.68 something. Yan. So ito, alam na natin, 1 million times 3.48 minus 1 million advance payment to get this. And this is 500,000 times 0.68. And this is 341. Okay. So this is now 2.83 million pesos. That is the answer in item 1. Dagdagan mo lang to ng interest times 1.1. So this is what? 3,111,194. That is the answer in number 2. Okay, let's now go to the right of use asset. Okay, so the right of use asset, you have the carrying value of the liability amounting to 2.83 million pesos. The advance payments minus the incentives is 650. 1 million minus 350. Initial direct cost of, yes, 100,000. But the restoration costs here do not use the 200,000 because the 200,000 is an amount that is to be incurred at the end of the 5th year. Okay? Remember that the lease term reflects that the lessee exercising the option to terminate the lease at the end of the 4th year, you will be using the dismantling cost to be incurred at the end of the 4th year. So this would now be 150,000. And the present value factor of 1 at 10% n is equal to 4 is 0.8868. Okay? So this is now the present value of the decommissioning and restoration cost at the end of the 4th year. So your ARWA here is this amount, 3.68 million pesos. Okay. So get now the carrying value of the right of use asset December 31. This is our cost. Okay. Ito na tanong. Would there be a transfer of ownership or a potential transfer of ownership? Yes or no? The transfer of ownership would happen when? At the end of the 5th year. Okay? And the lease term reflects that the lessee exercising an option to terminate the lease at the end of the 4th year. So, mangyayari pa ba ang transfer of ownership? The answer is no. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, naiiwan ka ngayon sa, dati kasi, ang pinagko-compare mo lang ay 2 eh. Ngayon, 3 na. Ano yung 3 yon? The remaining useful life of the asset equivalent to what? Equivalent to 8 years. Ano yung pangalawa? The original lease term amounting equivalent to 5 years. Oh, yan yun. And the lease term wherein the termination has been exercised, which is 4 years. Oh, anong gagamitin mong denominator? 8, 5, or 4? What do you think? The lowest between the 3. Okay, so this is now divided by 4. Okay, 3.68 divided by 4, 920. And this is now the answer for your number 4 question. 2.76 million pesos. Remember that these are the only items, okay, commonly asked in the board exam. 5 lang. Ano yung panlima, sir? Yun, depreciation expense. Carrying value of the liability, initial measurement and subsequent measurement. Right of use asset, initial and subsequent measurement, and the depreciation expense. Yan lang. Wala nang iba. Okay? So that is now your lessee accounting.